Hello and welcome to another edition of the Real Agents of Change, where we just acknowledge and celebrate the agents of change in the world, those people who are really making a difference and serving those people that they say they are here to serve. And Brad Harris is one of those folks. Brad and I were just introduced a couple of days ago through a run. I just love how the whole butterfly effect happens and one thing leads to another and you meet other people you're in alignment with. And I would just love for Brad to share with our viewers a little bit about the organization that you belong to, Brad, what your mission is, and what makes you a real agent of change.
Thanks, Cami. It's really great to see you. I'm Brad Harris. I am the Senior Director for Estate and Gift Planning at A New Leaf, which is based in the Phoenix, Arizona metropolitan area. And our mission is helping families, changing lives. And we've been around for 50 years as of this year, having grown from a tiny little nonprofit helping at-risk youth, teens, into a pretty significant size nonprofit with housing and shelter, food and basic needs, counseling for youth and adults and children. Oh my gosh, primary care for families who need help with their health care. We offer an early childhood education center, basically domestic violence shelters, basically just about any kind of crisis that an individual or family or children in need are enduring. We have a continuum of care services that we can help with.
Well, I just want to thank you for what you're doing. You know, there's so many organizations like yours, 1.3 million nonprofits in this country, and they all got started because someone saw a need and took action. So thank you for being there and for what you're doing for those families. So, Brad, one of the many things I love about meeting you is that you get it. You already know what charitable real estate is about. There is no explanation need. This is just a partnership of two people who get what each other is doing and a way to come together. How do you see not just charitable real estate, but working with the Real Agents of Change and Realty Gift Fund, and like, how is this going to help you move your mission forward?
Well, like just about every nonprofit that I know, ours relies on the generosity of the community, and whether that is from grants and contracts or from individuals who have some resources to give. And so I'm always looking to make that as easy as possible for the donors that support our agency. And whether for them it's writing a check or using their credit card to something that's a little bit more complex, we want to make that as easy as possible. And I know that many people have, it's easier for them to give from their assets or from their wealth than it is necessarily for them to write us a huge check to support our mission. And so whether that's giving out of their retirement funds, like from their IRA, or a gift of stock, or another asset like real estate, we want to make sure that that is as uncomplicated as it can possibly be. And so we have the capacity, the ability to accept real estate, but there are so many hoops and factors that we have to account for to make it really work for A New Leaf. I'm interested in organizations like Realty Gift Fund that make that really, really seamless and easy.
Well, and I appreciate you being visionary about that. You know, I was just hearing today about another organization that's kind of like Realty Gift Fund, but Brad, they keep 90% of the proceeds. Is crazy. And then there's another group I know that keeps 30%. Realty Gift Fund keeps 10% or less to do all the heavy lifting. So, you know, to find groups like yours to partner with, you know, be able to give you at least 90% of the proceeds is just a blessing. Now, do you have people already that are donating a lot of real estate to you?
I can't say that it's a lot of real estate, but over the 50 years of our organization's history, we have accepted some pretty significant gifts of real estate. and gone through all of the steps and done it ourselves with some help from some experts in order to do that. But there's room for more. We know that there are, especially I think here in Arizona, there are people with significant real estate assets who would like to be able to do that and make it easier. I'm thinking about the 10% or less, and I'm thinking about how being able to do that where the bulk of a charitable gift of real estate actually makes its way to the charity of their choice is the most respectful way to be able to work with our donors. And I want to make sure that we're doing it so that the donors are happy with what they're doing.
Absolutely. And it's not, a new leaf is one of our conversations, but you also run and participate in a couple of other huge organizations that could put us in front of hundreds or thousands of other nonprofits, ones that can partner with a new leaf on this. You want to share about your other groups that you belong to?
Sure. So I'm involved in a couple of other organizations, and both of them are primarily serving people who are in the gift planning space, either folks like myself who work for a charity or for allied professional advisors. One of those is Planned Giving Roundtable of Arizona. And we're really interested in being able to grow the knowledge among my fellow nonprofit people, as well as the professionals that we work with, so estate planners and tax advisors and wealth advisors, so that they can make sure that their clients, our donors, are best informed about what is the right type of gift for them to make, so that it benefits them and accomplishes their goals, and also then serves the missions of the organizations who are involved in that organization. I also have a council of professional advisors that I work with through a new leaf. So these are professionals who have decided that they're aligned with our charity and our mission, and they are kind of at my right hand or left hand. So if a donor or one of their clients has some type of more complicated charitable strategy that they want to pursue, we can work together as a group of trusted advisors to help that client or that donor achieve their goal. So those are kind of two offshoots of the work that I'm trying to do.
So what do you think is the biggest message that either of those groups need to hear about this specialized 501c3, this new way that you found with us to quite literally have zero risk to the nonprofits by having a third party handle all the boring stuff?
Well, for anybody who has spent some time working on gift acceptance policies and working with their gift acceptance committees and doing, the phase one analysis for the pieces of property that you have to do to accept a gift. In order to make that happen and not to have to jump through all of those hoops and know that somebody is dealing with all of the title issues and all of the environmental issues and ultimately working to benefit the people that my organization serves through that work, I think is really appealing. So I can say to my donors, yeah, you can do this and we can make it really easy for you, and here's how. I think that's like a win-win kind of situation.
Amen. Because of me studying this and teaching it and shouting about it, I actually came across the video myself a few days ago of a guy that's doing something around this, but he made it sound so complicated. You need to go get a title search, and you need to get an appraisal, and you need to make sure that this, that. And I was like, whoa, like I'm overwhelmed just listening to the guy. It can be a very overwhelming thing for the majority of people.
True. I've seen it become very overwhelming and very complicated. And it's at the end of the process, you want to know that it was really worth it.
Well, they say that the average amount of a donation from a piece of real estate is $550,000. So it certainly can be worth it when the right people come together to advise. So, Brad, what do you want the folks from your groups, what do you really want them to know about a new leaf and why the donations that they make, like who do they really affect? Can you give me a little bit more detail about that? We all love to know who we're helping.
Sure. I'm thinking about, we've had some really interesting experiences that have happened to us over this past year. And one of the areas that we work is in the field of domestic and sexual violence. And people who have been, let's say, quarantined during COVID, who have been basically trapped in their home with their abuser, and their children are also trapped there because they're unable to, live their normal life due to the pandemic. And so people who support A New Leaf and who have an interest in helping victims of domestic violence are helping families like this one woman and her children who called us in the middle of the night. Their lives were at risk. We sent out a van to pick them up and get them to shelter immediately. That's one of the kinds of situations that we're involved with. Others who have been evicted, families with young children who need a place to go that is safe and gives them the sort of wraparound services to get back on their feet, find employment, and get back on a path to a successful and healthy life. I mean, we have a men's shelter where men who are homeless they just need a helping hand, a place to sleep, a place to keep warm, and a place where they can get their affairs in order, find employment, get back out there and live their lives. So these are a few examples of the kinds of folks that we're working with and helping at A New Leaf.
Wow, you have the whole gamut, like everyone, every age, men, women, families, all of it. That's amazing. And you have like physical buildings that have been donated or that you use as well. In other words, are you looking for other buildings as well?
So yeah, A New Leaf has programs and program sites located across the Phoenix metropolitan area. I mean, it's a pretty vast area that we're serving here, and from one end of the region to the other, we have real estate property that has been given to A New Leaf in the past that we have been able to transform into. One of them is a shelter for families who are experiencing domestic violence. Another one is a property where homeless veterans now have a place to live, as well as support services that can help them be successful in their lives and be functional. We have another facility. It used to be a private residence and some surrounding buildings that we weren't able to run programs out of, but actually is providing a lot of administrative space for our organization, as well as an HR department, lots of different activities happening out of that building. And those are just a few examples.
That makes me think of how many other nonprofits that you could actually partner with. I'm always thinking about how can we collaborate with one another when there's veteran services and children's services and domestic abuse and human trafficking, just all the different, I can see us doing some kind of a big campaign with 10 or 15 or 20 nonprofits all like coming together physically or whatever, just to let people know, hey, by the way, we all can benefit from charitable gifts of real estate. We don't want $20 right now. We don't want you to go to a GoFundMe account. Right now, we just want you to know, if you click share, the right people will see that we can actually benefit from real estate. And that's all this campaign is about. Something as simple as that, Wonderful.
So true.
So Brad, at the end of our interview, I like for people to get to know who I'm interviewing a little bit more personally. So tell us something about you that has nothing to do with your work or where you're from.
Something about me is that I've never met an animal I didn't like. I live with a dog and 2 cats, and they bring me so much joy. So I obviously care about people, but I love animals and nature as well.
Well, it's funny that no wonder you and Tiffany House get along so well, because when I just interviewed her, I asked her that question and she told me about her whole farm that she has, pigs, ducks, the whole deal. I bet you've been there many times.
Yeah, we do share that in common.
Well, Brad, you were just a pleasure. And even though we've only met a couple of days ago, I know that we have months and years and lots of resources and relationships to commingle and ecosystems to intertwine to help the better of all. And so, if you out there watching think that you are an agent of change, whether you're a real estate agent or a nonprofit or a community leader, or just, anyone who feels called forth to be a part of the awakening, to be a part of the contribution of the solution, especially when it comes to real estate donations, please reach out to us and let us know. And you will see in the comments and the description of this video all the different wonderful places that Brad mentioned that you can go to if you are in need of services, or if you'd like to make a donation or just learn more about A New Leaf and all of the organizations he's part of. Brad, thank you so much for being on the show. And I look forward to you and I helping to bring in hundreds of millions of dollars for your nonprofit and more.
Thank you, Cami.
You're welcome.